I think the first thing we saw is that the fire is making like deformation of the forest in a very unpredictable way, and it's like designing the landscape somehow in different forms, like in the way the fire is going through the forest. And when we took a look at the forest in Brandenburg and we talked to the forestry, to the forester, and it was very interesting to really look at the forest through his eyes.
In the end, it's not well, this is always the kind of two sides of the forest in a way, because on the one hand it's like this poetic space and it's like described in poems or literature and stuff like this, and you have this romantic image of the forest. But on the other hand, and especially in Brandenburg, it's just more or less an infrastructure and a pine plantation to like source wood. So this was really interesting that it's a natural space and the forest has this image of a forest, but in the end it's kind of designed in a way, because you have these sections, then you have different paths and streets and everything, and it's kind of quite designed in a way or mapped out, and it's not really a natural space in this sense. And I think this was a topic that when we started this and we looked at the forest, it was really clear in a way when you look at this from this perspective that it's not natural, but it's so much more planned and laid out, and then it didn't feel like a context where maybe our architecture is so invasive in a way, because the forest itself is yeah, as I said, also a planned habitat or a planned infrastructure.
They have combined needs from the specialists, from the forest workers and the firemen and the scientists, towards opening up for public users, engaging and getting that synergy between those fields. It was very impressive, but it was impressive in that sense that it was sort of very subtle and very, you can say, there was a dualism between it. They were both solving a practical need. They were making sort of instruments, structural instruments and buildings for these specialists to engage with the forest, but they were also making the poetic and more sensible elements for all users and also the specialists to have this special atmosphere around the forest. They were also combining how the natural rhythm of the forest needed to be there, still functioning, while having human, you could say, interaction at the same time. So that dualism I think is very strong in the project.
It took a lot of time to really visit the forest, and we were there with the forest fire expert and the forester. And when we were at these spaces after the forest fires, we were really shocked, I think, about the mass of wood that is lying there. It's a huge amount, and both of us told us that it's really a pity that it's being burned just to win energy, because these trunks are still good. It's just that the bark is charred, or it has like a layer of black carbon to it. And then we were asking what's the problem with these trunks, and they told us that the sawmills in Germany, they have lasers to look at the trees when they come in, to see how it's being cut and what the wood can be stored for.
Yeah.
And and the laser is being disturbed by this soot layer, so they cannot cut the wood, but it's on the inside it's fine. And then we thought, okay, that is a value chain that is not yet developed, or that we have to take a look at maybe. And I think in the structures, we wanted to make a response to this dualism that Carolina talked about the forest as an infrastructure. Or when we visited the forest, like in a field trip way, we saw that there are signs in a metal form or gas pipes that always have these very, very bright colors, or this metal materiality. And on the other hand, we had these little raised heights for the hunters, and it's always so romantic, built in wood, and the people that are going through the forest have this this romantic look at these things, and we wanted to bring them both together in a way that you can see that our infrastructures have this red, maybe this red metal science of it's an infrastructure, but through the wood and through this burned wood, this correlation to this more romantic way, and and also the forest fire itself.
They are asking difficult questions, and they're not afraid of that. And they are working inside the reality, but they're not limited by it. I think that was very inspiring to see how all the challenges are urgent, but the projects were also full of hope. And I really like to see how architecture today is based on care and empowerment.
I think for us it was really important because when you hear the news and everything, it's all negative and you kind of feel a little bit helpless of what you can actually do. It's like, okay, everything is going down, but you don't really know where you can do something, maybe a little bit even. And that was, I think, kind of the starting point also for our thesis, that we wanted to try to see where our profession or our work can do something in a way.
We learned as well how to work maybe differently, like more this interdisciplinary thing. And it's for us, it was also a learning process where we can go in and what may be our role in this whole topic. And it was interesting when we talked to the professionals or these stakeholders from different parts, that everyone has their topic or they're doing scientific publications, but it's really centered for just one group of people that have the understanding of these scientific things or the wording with it. And then I think we both like to draw, and it's really we really enjoy it. And we always say that this classical architectural craft is really a really good tool to make things visible and understandable. And I think every one of us can understand pictures and can understand something when it's put together in correlations and different times. And then when we collected the whole knowledge, we thought that it's maybe important to draw it all together, that you have an overview of it, and everyone can understand it in a way because you have it as a picture, and then you can look at the picture, and when you really want to go inside a topic, you can read about it. But in the first point, we just thought that maybe this is also our task or our possibility to do something by just collecting knowledge and transporting it in a different way or more a visible way.